fate of the universe on the line. I want Iguodala.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Murray, way downtown. Bang! Blocked by James. Is this the dagger?
Heaven's defense just got stronger. R.I.P. Mr. Russell. One of the OG originals in the NBA just became an angel. Back on Earth though, Dejounte turned heel. He let his inner hawk free. With the devil he's made a deal. The bridge a rockin' in Brooklyn, but we promised to keep mum. Onwards and upwards is the mantra. Tune in for this and some. On the Hashtag Always NBA podcast, your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. We are back at it again with episode 3 of season 6. And if you haven't already, do go subscribe/follow the pod wherever you listen to your podcast at. In the association this week, the NBA decided to retire Bill Russell's number 6 throughout the league as a mark of respect to the ultimate champion. Dejounte Murray became the modern villain none of us expected by going at a bunch of 19-year-olds and casual hoopers in rec leagues. And Kevin Durant gave new meaning to the old adage, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Speaking of decisions, I've got with me, as always, someone with a clear understanding of decision fatigue. Someone who isn't a fan of the 2010 decision, and someone who has decided to do things in real life. My co-host, Vineet.
What's up?
What is up, Vineet?
Recording. Okay, that's good.
It's always good to confirm whether we are recording or not. Yeah, we've lost 2 episodes in our 102 episode history to not recording. Anyway, Vineet.
What's up, man?
A long week for us. We had a little break because of my indie duties.
Tell us more about your experience and everything.
What is to say? I mean, it inspired me to write a LinkedIn post. That's how much of...
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was very, very proud of you. I think that everybody from Boys Bay is very happy that you moved up. Not on, I would say moved up. So congratulations.
Yeah, please continue. Don't stop praising. If you were praising, please continue.
No, I mean I would have praised you if I'd listened to it. I heard very little of it. I think I heard the first time I put it up on the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I heard it, and I thought that maybe you are speaking to the stadium. But I asked you that, and you said no, you're not speaking to the stadium.
No.
Because then they put a fake reverb over.
No, so what happened is that it's an indoor stadium, and I think the acoustics are not meant for like commentary or any sort of that sort of thing. Because whatever I said in the audio, I mean in the YouTube stream of it just kept reverberating. So there was a little bit of that thing. So they didn't know how to fix it. So that 5 days we were like, okay, we did. They thought there was some sort of crosstalk between the camera and the recording here. But I think it might be better for the next stint, whenever that is. That's what. But speaking about that experience, it was absolutely fun. I've never seen 5-on-5 tournament in India ever. Like nothing. The only match I've seen is the NBA India games. The team which eventually won, right? Indian Navy. I think you might connect to Indian Navy because of your Goa thing and all that. Didn't you play on their court?
I did start off, but Indian Navy has like many courts.
Multiple. Yeah. So this is again still. I'm not saying that they are the team from Lonavala, I think, but
okay.
I think yours was
so
Goa.
They are the INS.
Somewhere.
So they are NDA, Indian Navy.
That I don't know, but I know that the Indian Navy, like amazing shooters throughout the game.
Is where the NDA academy is, right? It's somewhere near Pune because I remember I had got into NDA, number 4 All India.
NDA slogan is Khadakwasla, Pune, correct. You had got through to NDA.
Yeah, I was ranked number 4 All India for NDA. Even through the SSB, yeah, and it was a good experience. Like when I went to the police station in Coog, so you have to go to the police station to reject the offer.
To reject the offer, okay.
And so when I went to reject the offer, they sent me back home. They said, think for 2 days and come back again. And
because Coog has a lot of military people. It's very prideful thing.
It's not only prideful. I think it was also like it's been a while since like there used to be a time where Coogis were into the Navy, into like armed forces, right? And that was when, so there is a lot of pride, but it's been a while since that's necessarily true.
Okay.
And so I think the guy was just like, okay, man, like, come on.
Think about it.
Then after 2 days, I went back and I rejected it. But it was very good. It was a good experience. Anyway, sorry, carry on. My bad.
See, the squad is just for these kind of things. There's no specific agenda for it. But
I was just thinking like how I forgot it was it was Kadakwasla, but I had got into Navy, and then in Navy you can select either you go to Navy Kadakwasla or you go to Navy Goa.
Goa.
So like I had chosen obviously Goa. So,
So your good friend Ranvijay also, I think, passed the SSB but chose not to go. So
my good friend Ranvijay.
yeah, obviously you have met him and talked to him during the All-Star game, of course.
That's true.
So the Indian Navy team was there, and there was a team from Tamil Nadu. It was not the Tamil Nadu state team, but like rest of Tamil Nadu. So I think Loyola and no college, I forgot which college it was. Got to see some amazing players from like nobody who played in the Indian team. I think nobody who's played yet, but a lot of players who were like knocking on the doors and like great, absolutely amazing shooters. But more often than not, I saw
Billa.
how
I saw
Billa Mandi from Indian Navy. Then there was this guy who I nicknamed, his nickname is Bunny, but I gave him the nickname Bunny with the hops, and he was like
Bunny the hops.
Oh my God, Bunny with the hops, because the dude was like spring loaded. It was
But his name was Bunny.
His name was Gaurav. His jersey said Bunny. So I was like, it makes sense. If he jumps like this, then he's got to be Bunny with the hops, and he really enjoyed that nickname. And the entire Indian Navy team was like, they really looked a cut above the rest. Like all the other teams sort of played a little bit slower, a little bit passing around. This team was fast, passing the ball around, finding that open man, and the open man had no hesitation to shoot the three. I saw what Indian basketball is like, doing right now. They just shoot threes and they play zone defense. And if you play zone defense, then you need to really hope that your opponent team is, like not that great at shooting, because you play zone means there will be somebody who's free. You just need to find that man. And low post game was almost non-existent. Our Kerala KSCB team and one Bank of Baroda, I think called Karnataka, Mandya ka do teen, I don't know if you know Arvind Armugam and Anil and all. So they are Karnataka ka, like, Diggaj, as you would say. Post play
What's their name?
Arvind Armugam.
I know there's one Bangalore guy who's on like Instagram, Hegde, right? Some Shetty or Hegde, one of those two.
Is it a Rao? No.
I literally said it's a Shetty or a Hegde.
I mean, maybe you don't know the name.
And then you said Rao.
Shashank, there's a Shashank, someone who's Rai though, but yeah, no, not Rai.
Oh, maybe it's Rai then. Maybe it's Rai then.
Yeah, he's Bangalore. I know that. He's got hops. He plays, mainly plays in Bangalore circuit only.
I think he plays for India.
No,
not India.
Like
one of those
men's
India
5 not India men's 5, but maybe I don't think
men's 5 is all politics, right? All old people in men's 5.
Correct. True. So apparently there was a huge petition going on to get Billa or Mandeep into the 5 because they shoot amazingly well. They're all spot-up shooters and they're full of energy. So like I was saying, the Indian Navy, cut above the rest. They didn't play much post-wise. All fast people, all like so much stamina. It's unbelievable. Like they don't get tired playing zone defense. And zone defense means the ball goes there, 2 people go there. Ball goes there, 2 people go there. Ball goes here, 2 people come there. It was unbelievable. Like they beat the other teams purely on their defense. And I found a new favorite player also. His name is Lokeshwar and he plays for rest of Tamil Nadu.
We should invite him for the podcast.
He's a very low-key guy. His handle is low-key something. But he's also very low-key. He's almost exactly like Captain. I mean, you have not seen Captain play in college, but no emotions whatsoever. Things are going good, he's like, yes. Things are going bad, he's like, no problem. He missed them. Like, they came back in the semi-finals to beat Bank of Baroda.
Which team does he play?
Rest of Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Lokeshwaran is his name. So, yeah, that experience was amazing. I mean, commentating, not the easiest thing to do because I don't know the players' names, so I end up saying the jersey numbers, but then I made an effort to understand the players' names and, like, had it written down. I mean, I obviously had it written down, but I, like, had a system and all that. It was a lot of fun.
What was the system?
System is just writing down, going down to the scorer's board, taking a photo of the score sheet, coming here and writing that thing down.
So the most basic thing.
Yeah, I mean, gotta do the basics first. No, because Deepak knew all the players. Like he knew every single player who was there. and he knew stories about all the players as well, like what their family background is, where they did their college, when they have come into the team, and what is their personal story. This is sort of thing. I was just like, okay, this guy looks great. He knows how to shoot. This guy knows how to defend. Sort of generic. But Indian Navy, though, even if you don't know basketball, that team was on point.
And like there was no, but I remember the first game, that the one where I saw was very close, right? That I remember that. That's the only game I saw. And like the other team almost beat India. Yeah, almost beat Indian Navy, right?
Yeah, correct. They had I think it was a 2-point lead, no, 1-point lead they had, and they
stole the ball.
The defense for some reason decided to leave that man in the corner alone. And not that he was a great shooter. I mean, he made that shot. It was the play was run. But I always thought about why would you triple team that one guy driving in. See, first of all, he's driving to his left. He has to turn like this and shoot. Yeah, you've done the job, which is make it a difficult shot to take. But now you're sending a third man at that same person trying to get a block, or I don't know what you're trying to do. He easily, as soon as that guy left the corner man, he passed it to the corner. Boom, game over. And that was game one. Imagine, that was game one. I was like, I have to commentate. Oh shit.
I remember seeing that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a lot of the games are fun. Like every day, one game would be boring, 2 games would be fun, close enough.
Oh, there were like 3 games a day.
There were 4 games a day, but we could only broadcast 3 games. 3 games a day. First one was happening on this court. Second and third were happening on other courts, and the fourth one was happening on this court. So the good court, the hardboard court.
What's the other court? Cement.
Not cement. It's that I don't know how to describe it. It's got these holes. There's one court in Hiranandani in Mumbai. Powai mein there's one court. It's like how would I say it? Like those foot mats where there's space for dust to stay. Like they've made an entire court out of it, and apparently this is very okay. It's ridiculous in my opinion, but I don't think they had money for 2 wooden courts.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, PSG has a lot of money, I'm sure. I mean, they looked like they had a lot of money which was being kept for other purposes. With that, I will stop for talking about PSG's finances.
How was your experience with Deepak? I know you have a love-hate relationship. Like, how did you?
I don't have a love-hate relationship. No, man, that guy, apparently not apparently, like he said that I did not know a lot about you. Apparently not, he thought that I was 28 years old. Okay, that is not surprising you. So when I told him that I'm 30, he could not believe it. He's like, what? You are an old man. I was like,
Yeah, how old are you? 34?
Yeah, 34 this year.
Fucking old, bro.
Aren't you like 2 years older than me?
But I'm just saying you're old. And both of us are old, but I'm just saying that you're also old.
I'm also old, exactly. So those were his words, that you are also old. I kept thinking that I was old, but now you are also old.
But he's younger than us.
No, he's 36.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, we played a little bit on the I think day 2 or day 3 was it?
Oh, you guys played also.
We played. I mean, all he does is shoot. I showed him that I'm just as competitive when playing. That's all. Everything. He doesn't move much. He just stands and shoots. And
you played 1-on-1?
Not 1-on-1. He can't play 1-on-1. He doesn't move. 2-on-2.
2-on-2. Okay. Did you win?
2-on-2. So there was a BFI.
Did you keep Bolly's Bay's name high and proud?
Okay, I'll tell you. First game we lost. Okay, and I was playing with a guy who has lost. Listen. First game we lost. He had. So this Deepak is just a lockdown shooter. Okay, if he stands in one place, all he does is shoot, and all he does is make baskets. Like that dude has this action. You can't do anything as long as all you can do is disrupt him. Like you can't take the ball away from him. You can't do anything. But he'll give you one thing that he'll only stand at one place. He's not going to move around and set picks and do this. That dude just stands at one place and shoot.
So no defense also.
No defense also. But they were still like.
Then how did you lose then 2-on-1?
Let me tell you. Not 2-on-1. It's 2-on-2. He's
but
shooting.
The other was not defending.
In 3-on-3, it is not basket. No, it is one like 2-pointer is 1-pointer and 3-pointer is 2-pointer. So his plan was just outshoot us. And it worked in that first game because my partner was also is a small guy who's lost both of his ACLs. So he was also not able to run or
so it's your partner's fault.
No, I'm just saying that we don't know
Okay,
what to
fair
do.
enough, fair enough.
It's like
Okay.
1 versus 2 is a very clear disadvantage for one, and because he was not missing, he was just cut.
And
Then
it was
second
what,
game I said,
winner's
listen,
ball?
no losers ball, like normal 3-on-3. Man, you can't. So the second guy
Okay,
on
that's the
Deepak's
second
team is
thing,
also a BFI. He's a BFI referee. He's also a player. Like, and he's also a very good shooter.
Okay.
Very good shooter. And I can't shoot threes as well. Like I have to get a lot of
Also, you
time
haven't
and
played
look at
for a
the
while.
ring. I'm not played for a while, but I don't shoot threes. Essentially, I don't shoot threes at all. Like, and this guy just like put, and I saw him make 21 like free throws in a row. Oh God, I have to cut all of this nonsense. Anyway, like so they
Why
were
keep it? No, what's
first.
there? What's wrong with this?
Take,
This is
let me
good.
see.
Nothing. I don't think there's anything.
First game we played, they won because Deepak could not miss anything. Second game, I was like, okay, I see that this guy is not going to miss anything. So what we'll do is we'll slow down the game. We'll play defense. We'll just go up right up to him, put up our hands up, and see what happens. So second game we won. Like,
Okay.
and
And were
then
you
third
defending
game.
Deepak? Was that the plan?
No, there's no. You can't. Like I can't defend Deepak. It has to be like whoever is closer to Deepak has to defend Deepak.
Okay.
Because if you play with this man-to-man mentality, what happens is if I go and score on one end, right? Because there's no stopping also. It's just continuous ball. It's just like 3-on-3.
Oh,
There
go
is no
out and
stop,
start.
check. There's no
No
stop, check. Nothing like that. No set defense. It's just continuous play. So if two of us come inside to play offense, right? And if we are getting the rebound, something like that, what happens is Deepak is there for free. If the other team gets the rebound, passes to Deepak, he's got no hesitation, plug,
Sure.
and it goes
Okay.
in. He's like 40-50% accuracy sort of a thing that he's doing. So we had to run a lot to go back up to him, like whether it was me or my teammate. Second game, third game, what happened is he said that
Second game also you lost.
No, second game we won.
You won. Okay, good.
Now third game, he said that we will not let you score 10 points and we'll win. It's a game to 21. Like all these are game to 21. He said
Oh,
we will
challenge.
win
He challenged you.
before you. He
How
said
dare
we
you
will win
challenge
before
Paul
you
if you're
hit.
like this?
He said we will admit defeat if we don't hold you to below 10 points. You're like, okay. I didn't say anything. I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not setting any rules. I did not say, please set this rule. We played the game. They were at, I think, 16 or something like that. And we reached 10 points. Our simply just get those 10 points. And then later, because of all that reps, my 3-point started going in. Like maybe 20-30% only. But still, it was going in. So I was feeling confident that if left alone, I can shoot. And there's this guy, my teammate also, if left alone, he was also shooting his threes.
Okay.
So we were shooting at threes, we were defending. So we won the third game. Next game, they said we won't let you score.
You won the
8
third
points
game
also.
because of the 10-point thing. Otherwise, you would have lost.
Yes. Otherwise, we would have, but like I didn't set the rules. The rules were set.
Oh yeah,
That's all.
fair enough. Yeah, okay.
So after that, the fourth game, he said that we will not let you score 8 points also. We were like, oh, okay, all right. Like 8 points. I was like, okay, we have to just score 8 points. We don't have to do much. We don't have to score 8 points. And then these two just went berserk, just shooting from everywhere. But then again, we managed to get 8 points. I think they again had like 14, 16 points, something like that. And we got our 8 point and we were like, okay, the game is over. Done. Then what happened is now Deepak, like he was tired as hell. He's like, okay, we played the fifth game. And beach mein, he decided, no, I'm done. I can't play anymore. And now it became a 2-on-1 game.
What, he just decided he won't play in the middle?
He was like,
Tired.
I think this was the next level of challenge that he's like, oh, we will beat you in 2-on-1 kind of situation. I think, I'm not sure about it. And there also we were going down a little bit. I think it was 10, he was 10, like that lone person was 10 and we were at like 4 or something like that. And then he said that if you guys lose, you'll have to do shuttles, which means suicides. And I was like, oh, not only are they beating us, they're trash talking. And I got like really pissed at that point in time.
How can two people lose to one guy? Was he that good?
Because he was shooting No, because he was shooting twos and we were shooting ones. And our ones were, when they were not going, like he was getting the rebound
How
and
can
he was
it
going
not
back
go
and
if there
shooting.
are two people? He can't guard two people at a time.
He can't get two people, but I can't go inside and like I didn't want to like make it a physical game or anything. No, I didn't want to like let me like booty bump you out of this way and then pass to the second guy. The second guy is also not like he was really scared about jumping because by that time we had already been playing for like 45 minutes. He was also like his legs were like you don't want an accident on a really silly game, like which means nothing. This is not his livelihood. Anyway, whatever.
Okay, whatever.
And then I was like, okay, all right. If I lose this game, I will never be able to live this down. Like everyone is going to talk about that we couldn't beat 2-on-1 that team also.
Seriously?
Then I started taking him defense, and then after that we won the game. But again,
won the game by how many points?
That I don't remember, but we won the game.
Like 21.
He scored. He scored when he was like that dude was one bunny hopper energy, like Energizer bunny sort of energy. We were all like, okay, all right, you take the shot. He was just running to the 3-point line, poop, running to the triple line, poop, poop, poop. So basically, the two games that he played at full strength and played to 21, it was 1-1. Apparently, the national team is lacking that. That's why they keep telling the coach that you should pick up a Billa because he's an amazing 3-point shooter. He plays hard on defense. He's a little short. I think that might be a problem when you play international and everyone is like really tall. But shooting that dude has no fear whatsoever. So there was little petitions going on for Coach Matic of Indian team to come see this tournament and realize that Indian Navy has. I think so. Yeah.
He embarrassed the Indian team by saying these fuckers don't even come for practice. That was fun.
They don't, right?
I don't
know. Practice, breakfast.
No, but he meant like I call them for breakfast so that after breakfast you go for practice and these guys are not here. Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, when I was in Croatia, I went to play. Like I play on the last day of being in Croatia, last week of being in Croatia. I found a basketball court, which was so stupid because it was so close by. I just never saw it.
Never went left.
Yeah, I just never went left. It was like I was like, fuck these guys, and so I was playing with, and they're like, oh man, like a Croatian guy is your Indian coach. I was like, I didn't know. Okay. That's when I knew.
So apparently he's still that old school sort of big man, like everything goes through the post, whereas the entire world has moved on to 3-point shooting ke bina kuch nahi hone wala. 3-point shooting is very, very important. Everything else we can sort of get, if somebody is open and they can't make the shots at a good percentage, then there is no way your team is going to win. That kind of philosophy, the entire world has taken it up, whereas India is still sort of lagging behind everything. I mean, I didn't know this. I heard of it from like the entire janta there. If coach is listening to this podcast, then coach, like let us know. We will put you up in some nice place. We'll, not us, but Indian basketball, so that you can come look at all these tournaments. Anyway, coming back to NBA ball, Dejounte Murray, Vineet, like what has happened this entire week is, I don't know, maybe he was feeling lonely, or maybe this is who he really was, and Pop had like sort of like a Rodman, like tried to calm him down, tried to humble him. This man is going at players like 10 levels below him, rookie first overall draft picks, and just normal players who are just trying to like have some fun in the Drew League and the Pro Am and Isaiah Thomas's invitational events and all that. Does it make any sense to you? Because I watched the videos and this man is like angry at people for no reason. What did you make of all of this? Dejounte Murray turning heel. You know what turning heel means, right? Like in WWE terminology.
Yeah.
Like suddenly becoming the villain. Like Triple H was a good guy for a while. Then they decided to turn him heel, so he became like the bad guy for a while.
When was he? He was never a good guy. He was always a bad guy. He started off as
before D-Generation X, I think he was a good guy. He was not.
No, he was that like that prince or something. No, he used to always like keep himself clean and all that. That's who he was. Like very annoying, and not a very good wrestler. And then he came back with like. Then he came with D-Generation X, and that's like when he like rebranded himself.
Yeah, correct. That's
I think the biggest turning of heel is basically Rocky, The Rock. He came in with he came in with Rocky Maivia, which was like part of like this group that was hated. I forgot the name of the group, but like 5 or 6 people.
I remember Rocky Maivia. I was in love with The Rock back then also, because he used to do
Then he left. Jump. Then he left that group, and then he was like the bad guy against Stone Cold Steve Austin. But then he was so charismatic that they made him like the good guy.
The People's Champ.
The People's Champ.
So yeah, Dejounte Murray. Thoughts?
I think that's who he was, I think that's what he was.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's the only explanation I can think of. And I don't think this, I think, which is why, probably one of the reasons why the Spurs let him go, which is like, man,
What?
yeah, I mean, I don't think the Spurs want that kind of player in their thing. They don't want that kind of like show off for the sake of show off. Like, you can be intense and competitive without having to like thump your chest and like,
Yeah. Well,
hit 19-year-olds with the basketball. Like, yeah, I mean, I think it's very trashy. But I think he's also like trying to like make a name, come in the spotlight and like have himself be talked about. Um, so in that sense, I think that's fine. But I don't think that this was like, I don't think the Spurs really stopped him. I just think that he decided like, okay, you know, because he's going into like the Hawks and the Trey Young is like
Atlanta,
already
like
this.
downtown Atlanta, is one of the most dangerous areas apparently. Like all
I don't
gang.
know.
Do you think he wants to build up street cred for some reason? Like
Yeah, I
get
mean,
more
and also
Atlanta
like
sponsors?
when you're going into a new team, you don't want, especially with a team that has a superstar like Trey Young, like you
Hmm.
want to sort of, I don't know, I think it's just insecurity, like insecurity manifesting itself, and when only people who are insecure act like this, like if you're talented and if you got the work ethic, you will shine. Like there is no like there's nothing that's going to stop you, right? Like, but if you're insecure, you start like resorting to these cheap moves, right? Like, okay, I'm insecure, like I'm going to the Hawks, like will they give me a shot? Will I be like the man? So I'm going to do all this like things to like show that I'm the man, and I'm like I can't mess with me, and like all that bullshit, right? So that's the only thing I would think. I mean,
The insecurity thing makes sense because like you don't have to show like players below you that you're better than, right? Like you're supposed to show players at your level that you are better than them. That's like probably where the nobody's asking whether that guy who he hit the ball on the head with is better than him. Like that comparison on no page, even the trashiest of NBA takes, nobody's saying that this player is better than him. So if you want to go, you go at the NBA number one draft pick. Okay, all right, fine, okay, makes sense. Even though you're not doing it in the NBA, you're doing it outside. Fine, okay, makes sense. You're now going and hitting all these little, people who come there to play for fun. They're not professional by any level. They're not D3, A3, any sort of basketball level. They just like you go and show them up. And the insecurity thing makes a lot of sense. But I mean, like he's so young. He was not a triple double machine, but he always had the capability to be that sort of thing. He's a defensive like pest. Like those long arms. He made the All Star team last year, right?
but I just feel like Spurs gave him those triple doubles. We wanted
Okay.
to ship him off for something good because I don't think that what they got for him was that great. If a player of yours is having a triple double or a near triple double and an all star, like you would want something more for that to give him up.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
I think
Exactly.
the Spurs let him get his triple double, pump his numbers up, so that they can get what they want to get.
But they didn't get what they wanted to get, right? They didn't get
No, they
anybody.
got rid of
Or
him.
like, okay. You mean they inflated his value like a Tobias Harris sort of thing? And like, here, what a great player we're giving to you, and we don't even want anything back for it.
Yeah, just make it a deal, like an unbeatable deal.
Uh, Dejounte Murray के बारे में, I think that Hawks team is pretty good now. Like he's sort of like Trey guard is more sort of a shooting guard sort of person. Like he looks for his shot first, whereas Dejounte Murray now can sort of take away a little bit of that load. Trey Young can move to those free shooting places. I mean, he might still be aggressive, but defensively also, I think age-wise also, I think this is a great advantage for them. Um,
You were on the Hawks
Having
bandwagon for a while, right?
for me, once Westbrook fell off, I think Trey Young and Ja Morant are like probably the new people too, because
You still haven't
reckless,
decided.
abandon. I mean, Trey Young probably fits a little bit closer to my sort of underdog who's just like
How
trying to
is
prove
Trey
everyone
Young an
wrong, and
underdog?
he's so small, man. People just keep beating him up all the
Oh, he's
time.
small. He's small. That's not an
Ah,
underdog.
I mean, people think that they can stop him just by being tall. That's what I mean. Like, they
Okay,
think
fine.
that
Okay.
he's not. He can't do a maybe the Heat did sort of stop him by just considering him like a small boy. But yeah, I think that is a good combination. That is one of the teams to watch out for. Like that is a good move. Dejounte Murray going to the Hawks, even though you may think that the numbers is not exactly a reflection of who he is, but I think the Hawks are all about machismo and trying to show that they are better than they are. I mean, they had no business beating the 76ers in that series, down 2-3. They had no business beating those Spurs. I mean, those 76ers, but they went and did that. They went and won Game 7 on the road as well. So they have got that little bit of you don't think we are good? We will show you we are good. Like sort of gangster mentality. And Dejounte Murray, of course, is proving that I belong right here into that mentality. So I think that's one of the interesting moves. I mean, what do you think of like integration wise?
I don't know, man. These days, these kids, I don't understand this. I feel old now. Like I don't understand like a lot of what like youngsters go through. But I think that a lot of youngsters have like a
Swagger.
Conflated sense of self, which will make it more and more difficult for teams to like really gel. Everybody thinks, and I think Damian Lillard, I think there was a clip of Damian Lillard saying this. He said like, man, like when I was like coming up the ranks, like I never thought I would even play for the NBA. And now you go to like any camp and like everybody thinks they're going to be in the NBA. Like everyone is like, recording themselves on YouTube and like creating like dunk reels for themselves. And like they don't have the humility of like putting in the work. They just think that, okay, I'm just going to be in the NBA, and I think that's a good thing. I think, like confidence is really nice, but when you reach a certain level, right, like everybody around you is either better than you or as good as you. So like, and so then like your confidence is not going to take you too far.
We will have to cut short our conversation, but we are trying to find out, what are a great NBA nickname, what a great NBA nickname looks like, or I'll ask you about some little bit of quiz about. I'll tell you the nickname, you tell me who you think the nickname is for, and but just starting off, like what do you think makes a great nickname? Like,
I think the greatest nickname ever is Magic. Like I don't think anything beats it. That's number one from a mile. I can't.
But why do you think like what do you think makes a great nickname? Because I've got like off the top of my head, there's some, but I just want to find out, what do you think is a great nickname?
First you say it. Let's see. I will throw the question back to you, Ashwin.
So for me, there has to be intrigue. That nickname should create some intrigue. It can't be like a subset of your name and make it very obvious as to what it is, right? And it has to have a little bit of charisma. Like, oh my God, wow, what? It makes so much sense that this person is called this. Like, it should not be that you can't, retrofit a nickname onto someone. Like, it has to be given when they are playing and it has to make sense then. And obviously, you can't give yourself a nickname. That is not allowed. People have to look and people have to...
Shaq is disqualified then.
Shaq
and Kobe both are disqualified then.
No, but Shaq has... other nicknames also. I mean, he gave himself a lot of nicknames. I think
all the nicknames
Diesel, I think they gave him, no?
No, he only made it up. Yeah. He and Kobe both, I think they are the only people that I remember like who made their own.
Anyway, I mean, there are some amazing nicknames. We will try to get a Mount Rushmore of nicknames. I mean, I have my list. Hopefully by the end of this segment, you will have your list. So we'll talk about the nickname, Rushmore later. But first, let me quiz you a little bit on these nicknames, and maybe some of them will be new for you. I'm sure some of them will be new for you.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's do. We'll start with some easy ones. Big Honey.
Oh, should I know Big Honey? Is Big Honey Shaq?
No. Your favorite player in the NBA today?
Oh yeah, Jokic.
Yes, Big Honey is Jokic.
But he's also called the something hustler or something, no? Shambusha. He's got that.
Sambo Shuffle, that's his shot. I don't think they call him that.
Okay.
Big Honey, they call him Big Honey.
Okay. They call him Joker. That's his name. I don't know why you think it's the Big Honey. His nickname is the Joker. So I don't know how Big Honey came. Okay, let's move on.
Joker is just even Djokovic gets called Joker only, right? I think anyone with a DJOK, the easiest thing to do is call them Joker. So I will not agree with that. But Big Honey it's not on the Mount Rushmore though. Do you know this one? This is pretty recent, okay, and I don't think it's as famous, but I might have to remind you who this player is also. But Hillbilly Mamba.
Oh, Hillbilly Mamba. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not the Red Mamba.
No.
Red Mamba is the Spurs
Matt
guy.
Bonner.
Matt
Yeah.
Bonner. Hillbilly Mamba.
Also called AR-15.
Oh, wait, I know this. His name is AR. I mean, whatever.
Yes.
That's his name, but I don't
Yes.
know. Hillbilly Mamba.
It's Austin Reeves. Do you know who which team he plays for?
Lakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's trying to get that nickname off. He's not a big fan of it. I can see why.
Hillbilly Mamba.
Now this one is a little funny, but the Big Burrito.
The Big Burrito.
He's retired. He's an NBA champ with the Toronto Raptors, but he's played majority of his career elsewhere. A Spanish national.
Spanish national.
Big Burrito. So sort of like try to.
Pau Gasol.
No.
Marc Gasol.
Marc Gasol. Okay, we've got. This one might be easy. This is old school. Hick from French Lick.
That's Larry Bird.
Larry Bird, absolutely. Rain Man. Reigen. Rain Man.
The Rain Man.
He has one of the most iconic dunks in NBA history. Played
history
with
icon.
Gary Payton.
Oh shit! I forgot the guy's name, but I know who you're talking about. The dunker.
Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp.
Yeah. And then we've got this last one I'll say, then we'll talk about the some of the good ones. This is Dubious Handles. Like it rhymes with his name. Dubious Handles.
Julius Randle.
Correct, exactly. These are all nicknames. Okay, so for me, like I said, no, the name has to create some. It has to be original. You can't there was Vinsanity, and then they made it Linsanity when this came in. So Vinsanity obviously gets the points because first original one. For me, before there was Air Jordan, there was someone who was talked about in those terms, walking through the sky, Skywalker, David
Thompson.
So that was, I feel that is a little bit, because it's original, and sort of Air Jordan feels like, it's taken from a little bit of that. I mean, Michael Jordan has talked about David Thompson being one of his idols growing up, him and Dr. J and all that. Dr. J, another big name. Magic, of course. What a name, right? Dr. J.
The
and
doctor.
His image also.
You don't say Dr. J, you should say the doctor has operated. That's a great
Then
one.
there's Earl the Pearl Monroe, Clyde the Glide, Earl the Pearl. There's a Mad Max, one of my Iceman, exactly. I really loved Round Mound of Rebound because even though it's a little bit insulting because they're calling him a round, but they're saying that this is a mound of rebound. And Charles Barkley, everyone who talks about him talks about how if 5 people went for a rebound and Charles was in that 5 people, he was the one who would be there. A 6-foot guy playing power forward, that man did things that people should not be doing. So I also was a huge fan of Durantula when that name first came in.
No.
Because it's like a tarantula. It sort of fit in that way. Not, again, we have to remember.
I think Slim Reaper is the best.
Slim Reaper, he never accepted it. You know what?
He never accepted
what he came as what he said as a replacement to Slim Reaper. He said, instead of Slim Reaper, call me the servant. Do you know this one? He said, call me the servant because I'm always serving people passes. I'm like, what? Right, man. Come on, at least come from your burned account. Don't see these things from your main accounts.
He said that from his main account.
Yeah. Glove, of course, we've talked about the glove. Flash, I think, was pretty fast because Dwayne Wade was really fast on those pick and rolls and just generally.
There's nothing for Dirk, right?
Dirk, no. Swiss,
German something.
German bomber, I don't know. I think Dirk, big fundamental, a little bit boring nickname, but just like Tim Duncan also, sort of, okay. There was another one for big fundamental. There was a Groundhog Day. Do you know what Groundhog Day is, right? The movie.
Keeps
But the
repeating
same thing
again and
happens
again.
again and again and again. It's just like Dirk. And then Duncan get the ball. Boom, boom. Okay. Block. Okay. All right. I will have 20 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, and 10
5
blocks.
blocks.
So, and Chocolate Thunder is like, I thought it was a wrestling nickname when I first heard it. I think that guy's name was Sexual Chocolate or something, which makes no sense at all.
Mark
Chocolate Thunder,
Cuban.
Daryl Dawkins. Yeah, correct. So, the Chocolate Thunder is Daryl Dawkins, the breaker of
Oh, right. Yeah.
boards. Like
I was thinking, yeah.
that dude was 6'11", just like go up and bring it down. For me, my personal favorite. I mean, you talked about Magic being your personal favorite, right? It's the best nickname of all time. For me, that nickname is the answer.
AI.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that nickname for me is wow. Like we all have questions, but he is the answer. Like that just makes a lot of sense that way. That, we're all riddled with these questions, and this man is just the answer. And I think that Paul Pierce's The Truth is sort of a derivative of this thing. So even though I think The Truth is a great nickname, but for me, answer. So my Mount Rushmore is the answer, Magic, Skywalker, and Doctor.
Dr. J, you mean?
Yeah, the Doctor. Yeah,
Okay.
Doctor.
Oh, man. No Big Dipper?
Big Dipper, I don't know, it's not that great. Even though, I mean, you know why they called him Big Dipper, right?
Because of how much sex he had.
No, because he had to always dip. He had to always dip when he walked through the doorway. Like, dip. And he had to dip a lot. God. I mean, like if you look at it, then Magic Johnson is the greatest name of all itself. Like that dude has almost as much sex as Will Chamberlain, and his name was Magic Johnson. Like Magic Johnson. But, I mean, that is just perfect naming right there.
So I would
But
say,
yeah,
I would say like I would say Magic is number one for me in terms of nicknames. I think Dr. J has to be there, but I think Dr. J is better like when said in like a sentence, like the doctor has operated,
Okay.
the doctor
Doctor,
has left
basically.
the
The
building,
doctor.
something like that, like something very like it makes more sense like that, but I don't think it's like a very like you don't understand what doctor means, like
Correct.
so it makes more sense in
But the
that
nickname
way.
is Dr. J, right?
Dr. J, yeah. And I might put the answer in there, but
Go for it. You can
like
steal the answer.
it is the answer after all.
It's always the answer.
That's true. Man,
There's Claw, there's Big Shot for Robert Ory, Glove, Dream.
the dream. I go with the dream. I go with the dream. I think
Yep.
like
I was thinking about this when we released that reel. You go to our Instagram page to check it out. Beautiful reel. Imagine you were chosen over the greatest player of all time in the draft, and not a single person says Houston made a mistake.
yeah. No,
That
it
is
was all
some sort of validation for this thing. Like the greatest player ever taken third in the draft, Hakeem taken first in the draft, and not a single person has ever said biggest mistakes of all time. Houston Rockets taking Hakeem
like,
over
yeah.
Michael Jordan. So I think
It
that
was,
speaks to how much.
and like I don't. Do you remember once we had like in the NBA Wallah's group, I picked Dirk over Hakeem or something like that, and then I think I was debating with you or someone else about. I said like 1-on-1, like Dirk would destroy Hakeem. And obviously, my love for Dirk was blinding my intellectual capability.
Yeah.
I mean,
You have come
after
home
like
after multiple
yeah,
years, but it's okay.
no. I think I accepted in that chat itself,
Just
but I think like as I was typing my rebuttal, I was like, Vineet, this doesn't make any
oh shit.
sense. No, I mean Hakeem was really good. So I would take the Dream, Magic, Dr. J. I really want to put the Iceman. No, I
Let's
like
move
the
on.
Iceman because man, you've seen his videos,
Yeah.
George Garvin. My God, like I
Off
don't
the
know how
back.
he makes that shot, that finger, like
Yeah.
he'll be finger rolling from like freaking like in the middle of the court. Like,
Soon.
yeah.
Soon.
So I might go with the Iceman. I might go with Iceman
Iceman.
because
Iceman
he
is a
was
great name. Yeah.
cold killer.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and it's also supposed to be like at that time it was like one of the most iconic names and brands, and like I think he's that poster of sitting with two like basketballs made out of ice was the most sold poster in NBA history at that time.
At that time.
So
And
I
this
think
is
for that
when
time,
Dr. J was still there in the league. So with
Dr. J
him
was there.
also to still be like the poster boy for the league is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
So I think that's, but I also think that Michael Jordan's Black Jesus is quite good.
That was just a scare tactic. I mean, okay, I
I know,
guess.
but like people used to say like, oh man, this is like Black Jesus. I'm like,
Black
oh,
Jesus, Black Panther, Black.
yeah. But I don't think it caught on because Air Jordan was,
Yeah, Arizona was so much
Johannes.
better. Like, airness, his airness, yeah. Correct.
I mean,
At
Shaq's
least
nicknames are always funny and nice. The Big Aristotle,
the
that's
big,
really nice.
yeah, he had a lot of those. Diesel is a
Lots.
great one. I mean, like all of them talking about like how much stronger and imposing he is over everyone else. He kept with a big shamrock and all. That was terrible. I think that was when he moved to the Celtics for that 1 year. I was like, okay, all right, Shaq, calm down.
Oh, no.
Big Aristotle.
Yeah.
Black Mamba, of course, great nickname, but you can't give yourself a nickname, so can't really do anything about it. Again, he gave himself the nickname Vino also when he was
It
aging
didn't
like
work out
fine
though.
wine.
It
He
didn't
didn't
work out.
know.
That didn't catch up.
His
He
Achilles did
tried.
not get the message. Yeah.
So Achilles is like, I guess this is not working out.
This is just old wine and old bottle. Let's not really try to. Present day, we've not. I mean, LeBron James ka king wala
Present day
moniker
Luka
has come
Magic, but
from.
unfortunately Magic is taken.
You can't be Luka Magic. Oh, Greek Freak is nice, but I don't know. It just seems
It's
to be making fun
yeah.
of the fact that he's, like there has to be some slender man or something like that would be
Yeah.
better nickname.
What is
Ja
Dame's
Morant's
nickname?
Dame's nickname is Dame Time. Ja Morant's is
Steph
Razzle
also doesn't
Dazzle,
have a
Ice
nickname,
Tray.
right? Babyface Assassin. That's not really a nickname.
It's like, okay, what did the suspect look like? He looked like a baby-faced assassin. Oh, no.
Wow.
Ice Tray, I think, is pretty nice.
Nice is
Because
good.
like, Ice Tray, like there's something called an Ice Tray, so sort of fits in. But a bit of lazy writing because Tray is there. I don't know. Like
LeBron
when
King James.
When Westbrook does great, they call him Bestbrook. But then next day when he does bad, they call him Worstbrook.
Was the
Big
nickname.
Shot Bob was like very congratulatory, big dick energy sort of a nickname. I always thought. Big Shot Bob.
Who was on
Big
our
Shot.
podcast, by the way?
Who was on our podcast, by the way, when it was on purely audio. So one of the earlier seasons, season 2, I think. Go check it out.
You
You won't find it
interviewed
on
him,
YouTube,
right?
but you will find it. Yeah, that was the first time I talked to that guy, and I was like, "Hello." It's like, "Yes, sir." I was like, "Oh, we made it." And 4 years later, it's just me and you talking to each other.
Hey man,
Could be
we're
worse. I could be talking to
yeah.
myself. It could be worse. Okay, all right, man. That's it. That's all we've got for this episode. We've talked about my stint with the India basketball, my stint with India basketball commentary. We talked about Dejounte Murray, and we talked about nicknames. All fun conversations. We will cut it up, put it out. Check it out. Go follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast at, and subscribe to the link on the YouTube, wherever it is there. And like, share, subscribe, do all that jazz, and we will see you for the next episode. Till then, Vineet, say bye bye.
Bye bye.